Greetings, YouTube land. It is a rainy Saturday morning, and I am going to do a modification to my 2021 Subaru WRX Premium. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing the axle back muffler delete. You see, I have the stock mufflers on right now. Yes, forgive the moaning. And I'm going to be putting the Extreme Online Store muffler deletes. It's a economical muffler delete. I think it was $306 after taxes through Amazon. And this is not really going to be a tutorial, but I'll kind of give you the obligatory cold start with the stock exhaust, and then do a cold start with the muffler delete. But this is kind of to give you a little bit of education of what you need in order to do that, because you can do this right in your garage. It's a fairly simple install. It's 4 14mm bolts, so all you really need to do this is a simple mechanic set, which I have right here. You're going to need a jack and jack stands if you don't have a lift. Never try to do this without jack stands, you know, safety first. And more than likely some WD-40. That's going to be to help get the stock mufflers off of the hangers that are in there. So kind of what I'll do is I'll go over the step sheet, or go over the exhaust itself, so you can look at it up close, decide whether it's something you want to do as well. One of the things that I like about this is that this is one of those modifications you could do that will add a throaty sound to your WRX, which most of you know, who are looking at this have already looked at other videos about it as well. But it's a modification that does not void your warranty if you are still under warranty with your WRX. The rule of thumb is anything past the catalytic converter you can modify, and it will not void your warranty. So that means that you can do the muffler deletes. You can also do a resonator delete as well, because that is past the catalytic converter. So if you're on the engine side of the catalytic converter, meaning that you're removing the catalytic converter or putting the J pipe or headers on, then that would void your warranty. But this here, this is one of those modifications that actually has a significant sound difference, but will not void your warranty. It doesn't really do any horsepower increase, maybe 1 or 2 at best if it does. It just adds a nice throaty sound, and you actually get to hear some turbo noises when you do it. So I'll come back. I'm going to open up the Extreme Online muffler deletes, and we'll have a close-up look at it. This is the set that I'm going to be installing on my car this morning. And this is everything it comes with. Again, this is the Extreme Online Store, weird name, muffler delete. It's an economical muffler delete. Like I said before, it was only $306 after taxes on Amazon. And it comes with everything you need for the install. Obviously the muffler deletes. It comes with fresh gaskets, new bolts, and the hangers to hang them up. Or the hanging, I don't know what those hanging brackets or whatever they're called. But looking at it, I mean, my first initial thought is like, I really do love the way the burnt tips look. I think it's going to flow well with my dirty Lapis Blue Pearl WRX. And I mean, the wheels look decent. The only thing I wish that, I mean, again, and the more expensive brands, you probably will get this, but on this one here, I mean, you have a weld spot here. The weld looks halfway decent, but you know, if it was mandrel bent, it would be better, of course. They're not like the cleanest welds I've seen, like on the higher quality muffler deletes, but they're enough of a weld. I mean, it's probably a better weld than I could do, coming from a very rudimentary welding person. But they look pretty solid. This one, you It's kind of burnt a little bit. They did put some hot temperature on that one, but it looks solid. And then I really would love, like on the other ones, the more expensive ones, this part here is usually a kind of mandrel solid piece where there's no weld here, and then it just has the weld that goes to the main pipe and then to the end pipes. Again, I mean, they're halfway decent welds. I didn't see any damage on these as I was unpacking them. The package itself, I mean, it was packaged like a $300 muffler delete. It was bubble wrap and some box, some cardboard and foam stuff around the tips here to protect the tips, and they were stacked into a box. And then all of these were just in a Ziploc bag and then in a box as well. So the packaging on it was halfway decent. That one. It did have some rubber things to protect the ends of the hangers, but I think it's going to look great. It's going to sound great. The one thing I'm really looking forward to is that the size of these on the inside, they are double wall, but they're 4 inches, so it's going to actually fill the space where the mufflers go on the car. As you can see here, the pipes are small. You can actually see the base of the muffler through that area. Obviously, you're not going to see it once I do the install. However, the tips on these actually fill this whole entire space, which is pretty nice. I think it will look a lot cleaner, a lot more aggressive. So, all right, I'm going to start doing the install. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm missing the obligatory cold start from the stock exhaust. I know everybody's heard it. Anybody who has a WRX has heard it. But I think the video demands it. So I'll go ahead and get that set up and give you guys a cold start from the stock exhaust so that we can do a comparison of the cold start from the Extreme Online Store Muffler Delete Kit. Okay, so now that I've got the cold start from the stock exhaust out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and do the install. Like I said, this is not a tutorial, so I'm going to do the install, come back, have you guys look at it with the new exhaust on, and give you guys a cold start. Okay, so I'm halfway through the install, meaning I've got the factory mufflers taken off. I wanted to set this up and show you just kind of the size difference between the factory mufflers and then the Extreme Penetrator, Extreme Penetrator, I'm thinking ammo now. Extreme Online Store Muffler Deletes, or any muffler delete for that matter, whatever you decide to get. There's going to be a little bit of a weight reduction, I'll tell you that. I mean, the mufflers themselves are a little bit heavier than I thought they would be. So maybe that's where the 1 or 2 horsepower come from that they say for the addition of the muffler deletes. So yeah, there's a big difference in size. Kind of an update on the tool thing. I forgot that I had one of these, which is a wire hanger puller. This tool makes taking off the factory mufflers significantly easier. I didn't have to use any, you see I have the old hangers on there, I didn't use any lubrication whatsoever to pull them, so the WD-40 did not come into play. But you know, I got them all off of the car. Went ahead and took in the old nuts from this muffler set. I put it together right here, and I'll just store these away in case I ever decide to go back to stock or anything. I don't anticipate doing that. However, I'm one of those people that likes to be prepared, so I will keep those probably in my shop or in my barn and if I need them, I can come back to them if I need to. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the install of the new muffler deletes from Extreme Online Store, and then we will see how they look and then do a cold start with them. Alright guys, so this was a fairly easy install. They are on. They look great. They're positioned the way I wanted them. Wow. And like I said, they fill up the bumper cavity nicely. So let's do the, I haven't even started it up yet. I have no idea what it sounds like. You guys are gonna experience the same thing, or same time I do. So I'll set up for the cold start. Okay guys, so it's the next day, Sunday morning now, and I drove around yesterday with the new Extreme Online Store muffler delete kit, and kind of just want to give you my assessment in the close of this video. The sound of it is significantly different. You notice it when you start the car, you notice it when you're driving and taking off, and it's nice. It's one of those things where, I mean, of course it's a novelty to do. It doesn't do any real performance upgrade to your car. However, it gives you that sound that you're looking for when you're driving a car like this. That is exciting. But the beautiful part is that it's not so loud that you can't talk to a passenger in the car. So I have my wife in the car, who is a very soft-spoken lady, and I was able to carry on a good conversation with her even when I was going through the gears down the road. So that's a bonus. People do take notice of you a little bit when you're driving down the road. I kind of like that attention, but you know, that's me. But overall, very, very nice. One thing that, yeah, and I'm not upset about this, but I mean, one thing I noticed is that a lot of these videos that I've seen of people with muffler deletes, they were making those popping noises. Either they were putting in second gear, making the popping noises, or they would rev up enough when they're driving down the road that it makes those popping noises. I haven't done that. It's not something I do with my WRX. I don't rev it out to holy cow and make them pop, but I did make it pop once from going third to fourth, and it was kind of a cool thing to do. But I don't know, it's just not one of those things that I'm down for revving out my engine to, oh my god, you know. One of the things I did want to make a note on, as far as when I did the install, the bolts that came with the Extreme Online Store muffler deletes was 15 on the nut side, a 15 millimeter on the nut side, and then on the bolt side it was 5/8. So it was two different sizes. I found that to be a little bit odd, but I figured I'd make a note of it for anybody else who's doing the install. Don't just grab your 14 millimeters and think you're going to be okay, unless you plan on putting the old bolts back in. But if you intend on using the new bolts, the nut side is 15 millimeter and the bolt side is 5/8. So kind of weird mixing metric with SAE, but whatever. So in closing, do I think that it was worth the money that I put into it to make this happen? And the answer is absolutely yes. Definitely think it was worth it. Increased the sound awesomely. Added something to the WRX that it should have in the first place. Um, and again, highly recommend it. So um, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. And if you want, subscribe. I know it looks like I have like a little small subscriber base, but I can grow. Who knows? Talk to y'all later.